My name is James Molina. I'm the Community Relations and Marketing Manager for High Plains Library District, and I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. We definitely have a lucky bout of weather right now, too. So special thank you to our county commissioners who could join us, as well as our city officials and city staff. Thank you so much. And without further ado, I'll introduce to you our Executive Director, Dr. Matthew Horton.
Thanks, James. Well, I was actually going to try to start clapping for our officials, but I realized I was the only one doing it. So, but thank you all for coming. I know everyone's got a really busy schedule, and I know both from our city council and our interim city manager as well, and our county commissioners, they all moved their schedules around today to be here. So really thank you on behalf of the library district and of course for myself for being here. So I'm going to try to make this short and sweet today. Many of you have probably heard a lot about this project. Maybe you haven't, so I'm just going to give kind of a brief overview. As you look at some of the materials we have out there, hopefully it's pretty obvious that water is a big component of the design of this project. So from the screen outside, we're tying in the Northern Watershed Project, and then also throughout the project itself. So looking at the river of books, that's tied in really well to it too. And for us, it really represents this concept of confluence. And for the project, not to steal from the book that came out recently, but that idea of the rivers coming together. We wanted this project to be something that pulls some not disparate ideas together, but different ideas together. So what we're really going for with this is a combination of a public library and innovation center, and then some exhibits inside that'll help to spark interest amongst everyone across the board. With that too, we'll have some specific exhibits, but then we also have an amazing artist, Wes Sam Bruce, here with us today, and he's going to be putting in an installation that's going to be amazing. It's going to be 2 stories, and I think just be inspiring for everyone. So Wes, thanks for making it all the way over here too. So just to kind of wrap it up too, for my part at least, LINC, the title LINC, Library Innovation Center, pulls from a lot of different aspects. Of course, the connection to Lincoln Park, the replacement of the Lincoln Park Library as well. But then also we really love the idea that it's going to be hopefully a link that will help to drive and pull the community together and really make it a countywide project. You know, with that idea of confluence, what we really want to do is maybe have innovation, at least for the library district, start in this area and then flow out to the rest of the community. And not just the community bounded by, city boundaries, but the entire library district. So everything involved in this, except for Wes's project, because you can't really move something installed that big, we really worked hard to make sure that it's movable and flexible and actually something that we could either replicate or take on the road throughout the entire area. So we're really hoping that this is going to drive innovation to really flow throughout the entire district. And to make that happen, we really need everyone to support us and to work with us. We want this to be a resource and something that will be a connector for the community and pull all the different industries, all the different education systems together and really help the community to build that community that we want to have for the future. So it's really exciting, and thank you all for coming today. About 15 months, we'll be back here to do ribbon cutting, and I think that's going to be even more exciting. So thank you again, and I know we have a little bit more in our program, but I would actually love to turn it over to our county commissioners. I believe the chair, Commissioner Moreno, will speak.
Well, thank you, Matt. I'm Commissioner Steve Moreno and Commissioner Perry Buck's here with me. Fellow board members are not here, but in regards for the whole board here, we just want to congratulate High Plains for what is taking place here today with the groundbreaking. Again, it's a county-wide project here. This is not just for the city of Greeley. I know, Mayor, this is a great thing for the city of Greeley, but it is a county-wide project here, and I just want to congratulate High Plains for working forward on this. I know Matt and the team had put out a lot of virtual meetings and looking for input and comments of what the type of projects would go into this building here. I know when the building shut down with the Greeley Tribune, a lot of folks, myself being one, living here in Greeley, wondered what might be next. Hopefully this building building would not be tore down. There would be some use for it, and I think it's going to be a great use for the children and the parents to come out and see a lot of the wonderful things. I looked at the virtual innovation type of things that's going to be presented here. I think it'll be a wonderful time for families to spend inside this new building once this is built, when we're here for the ribbon cutting in 15 months. But congratulations to everybody that's involved in this project here and everybody here today that's supporting it. Thank you.
All right, we have a couple more speakers, and I'd like to introduce our board trustee for this area, Mary Roberts. She also serves as our secretary and treasurer, and is really been such an anchor for this project as well.
Thanks, Matt. I feel so privileged to represent the area of the High Plains Library District. I represent Greeley, Evans, and Garden City. And as Matt said, I'm secretary-treasurer. That means I watch the money. And this has been such a good experience to watch how this comes together, from the selection of the architects and the contractors and what's called a design build. The contractors are with us all along the way. And now we're we've got the design that is fabulous. If you haven't seen the design, we have it, examples here for you to see what architects come up with. I want to speak to the collaborative nature of what the design team was. The design team was made up of course, the architects and the construction reps. It was also made up of Matt and his staff at the administrative level. You've heard from James. We're going to hear from Margie, I hope. And the young woman that's going to run this when we get through with it, or when we get it started, I guess. She talks to her staff about what are their dreams, what would they have if they had an opportunity to build an innovation center, to build a library that was for everybody. And this is our view of a library for the entire county. This isn't only Greeley. We talk about a community, and when we say community, we mean the entire county and even on towards the entire state. People are going to come to see this place from other parts of the country. We know that because we've looked at what other people in other parts of the country have been doing. I actually just came today for the cookies. And they said I had to talk in order to earn a And the name, we were just a little worried about how are people going to refer to this. Everything from the start to paying attention to the budget. We have updates all the time about whether or not we're staying on budget. We have updates about, we've got to cut this out. What's the alternative? And we're so devoted to what the process has been to come up with a beautiful design that's representative of where we live. You will be impressed when you see the renderings and when you see the actual end product. So I want to say thanks to Matt and the staff and my fellow board members. Ken Ponslow is right there. I don't think he's going to talk, but Ken, thanks for being here. And Mary Heberly is right next to him. Can we just say thanks to them? I've learned so much. Thank you to the architects who put up with my lack of knowledge and got me educated. Dan is our member rep, and he had to deal with me mostly when they couldn't deal with me themselves. They said, Dan, would you please talk to her? And also, as we begin the construction guys have been fabulous, and they always listen. This has been a wonderful experience of how a group of people could come together and create something for the entire community, the entire county. And with that, Matt, you'd like me to turn it back over to you, I think.
I can take it over.
Don't forget to get a cookie.
Thank you, Mary. And if you haven't had a chance to see the cookies, we actually had, of course, the LINC logo. We also have the High Plains logo. And then our architects, BRS, and then Wember as well, our owner's rep, and GH Phipps as well. So we replicated all of the logos for those on the cookies, which I think is really cool. So Brooke, thank you for doing that. Lastly, before we actually start moving dirt, I would like to introduce Melissa Beavers, who is not only our current Lincoln Park manager, but is going to be taking over this wild project as soon as we get going. So, Melissa, why don't you come on up and say a few words?
Hi, everyone. It's so great to see you all. I want to give a special shout out to the current Lincoln Park staff. Please raise your hand so you can be acknowledged. They have been such a key part in giving feedback on this project, and we have been able to really collaborate and make this a community project. So for us today, the word groundbreaking means so much more than the literal breaking of ground. It stands for an opportunity to expand, enhance, and even shake up how we think about library services. The breaking of this ground is really the first step in creating a space to where we can come together, learn, explore, experiment, create, and most importantly, connect. You will be able to walk in to LINC, go to the shelf, grab your bestseller, then pop into a meeting room, do a business call, walk down the hall, borrow one of our sewing machines, and bring that shirt that's been hanging in your closet for 2 years to mend it. You know what shirt I'm talking about. Mine is white with pink flowers. But then on the next day, you can bring the kids, check out a story time, go to our interactive museum spaces, check out a concert in our event space, explore a cooking demo, relive the good old days of high school shop class with one of our woodworking workshops. The possibilities are endless. And it all starts here today. I want you to remember, my name is Melissa. I teach Facebook Beyond Basics. Sign up for my class. Say hello. I'll be watching for you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Melissa. And I have to say, I need to turn this way too, I guess. I have to say, when you started talking about a shirt, I assumed it was going to be purple instead of red. She's a huge Prince fan, and we had to paint one of her walls in the office purple. So I'm assuming we're going to have to factor that into this project too. So thank you all again for coming. And without further ado, I say let's turn some dirt over and get some cookies. So thank you all again.